At the start of the movie, we see a cave. A man is breaking through it because he has murdered a woman and now wants to hide her there. At night, he buries her inside the cave and leaves. However, after that, the woman's voice starts coming from the cave. People get scared, and anyone who passes by the cave disappears. They never return. Now the scene shifts to a woman named Anna. She is moving to a town with her family because her 5-year-old son has died. She has been deeply saddened by this incident. The house they move into is located near a deep forest. There is a restricted area nearby, surrounded by a boundary to prevent anyone from entering. This area is none other than the place where the cave is located. Anna's mother-in-law also lives with them in the town. Her family consists of her husband, her daughter, and her mother-in-law, who suffers from a mental disorder. Despite this, Anna takes great care of her. Her mother-in-law has a unique ability. She can hear the voices of the dead, which makes her behave strangely at times. Later, we see 2 kids, a boy and a girl, who have lost their beloved puppy. While searching for it, they put up posters and eventually reach the cave. It is dark inside, so the girl turns on her phone's flashlight to look inside. She senses movement in the corner. Suddenly, something grabs the child and pulls them into the cave. When Anna hears the noise, she calls the police. When the police enter the cave, they find the dead body of a girl. There is a photograph near the body. Meanwhile, Anna is in the forest with her husband. She discovers a baby girl who is dirty and scared. The baby girl's name is Julia. Anna takes her home and gives her a bath. However, she notices multiple wound marks on Julia's back. Julia looks adorable, but when Anna tries to talk to her, she doesn't respond. Suddenly, Julia calls Anna mother. This is the first time Julia speaks, and shockingly, her voice resembles Anna's daughter's. Anna's husband tells her that they should inform the police about the lost child, but Anna refuses, saying, "I have already lost my son." What did the police do back then? I have found Julia in place of my son. As days pass, the bond between Anna and Julia grows stronger. Anna deeply loves Julia. One day, Anna's husband asks her, "How long will we keep this baby girl in our home? We need to send her away." Anna refuses, saying, "I will not let her go. If you want to send her away, then I will leave the house with her." She starts crying. Her husband tells her, "We need to accept that our son is no longer in this world. No one can replace him. Please control yourself. I will support you." But Anna refuses to accept it, insisting, "I will bring my son back for sure." One day, Anna's mother-in-law suffers a psychological episode while sitting. She suddenly moves toward Julia with a knife. Just in time, Anna arrives and saves Julia. There was a mirror in Anna's mother-in-law's room, completely covered, because she claimed to hear the voices of her dead sibling from it. Then, a terrifying face appeared in the mirror, resembling a demon or a spirit. Anna's mother-in-law began talking to herself and suddenly rushed toward the forest. She reached the cave area, a place that was strictly forbidden. It seemed as if something was pulling her there. The next morning, when Anna wakes up, she realizes that her mother-in-law is missing. She tells her husband, and when he checks his mother's room, he notices some strange fluid leaking from the mirror. Curious, he removes all the tape covering it and sees handprints on the glass. He starts suspecting that ever since the baby girl arrived, strange things have been happening. He then approaches Julia and asks her, "Do you know where Grandma is?" Shortly after, Anna's husband also goes missing. Anna, now terrified and confused, calls the police. She tells them, "I don't want to stay here anymore. This town is strange." She also informs them that she found a little girl in the forest named Julia. The police check their records for any missing person named Julia but find nothing. Meanwhile, as Anna is taking Julia to meet the police, Julia suddenly disappears without a trace. The police then reveal to Anna that many people have gone missing in the past few days. They explain that this town holds many mysteries. Finally, they show Anna a photograph, the same one found near the dead body. Anna realizes that this girl is Julia. When the police check their old records, they discover that many people have seen this baby girl in the forest. While searching for Julia, Anna meets a woman who tells her about a cave where a white tiger once lived. The magicians who resided there worshiped this white tiger. Among them, when a magician performed rituals for the tiger demanded his soul. To save himself, the magician began a ritual to protect his life. The magician threw his own blood onto a mirror, but the tiger rejected it because it desired the blood of a pure soul. As a result, the magician sacrificed his own daughter, Julia. After that, they all disappeared. From that day on, people started vanishing. The police officers find some photographs of Julia and discover that the magician had physically abused her. The woman tells Anna that if she has seen Julia, she will inevitably encounter the magician, as they are slaves of the tiger. She warns Anna against taking Julia home, saying that the girl could possess her. She also mentions that losing one's eyesight is the first symptom of possession. Anna had already started experiencing vision problems. The woman urges her to leave immediately. Anna, realizing that her daughter is alone at home, rushes back. At home, her daughter hears her mother's voice, Anna's voice, coming from the mirror saying, "Come here, don't be afraid." However, it was actually the magician inside the mirror, trying to lure Anna's daughter toward him, intending to hunt her down. Anna's daughter is scared and locks herself inside a cupboard. Julia tells her, "Don't be afraid, I am with you," and sits inside the cupboard with her. When Anna returns home, she starts looking for her daughter but cannot find her anywhere. When she opens the cupboard, she sees her daughter inside, along with Julia. She assumes that Julia was taking care of her daughter. Anna then asks Julia, "Can you tell me where my husband and his mother are?" With that, she prepares to leave the house. Before leaving, Anna places a police officer's contact card near her daughter. She tells her, "If I am late and don't return by morning, contact him." Julia takes Anna to the cave. Inside, there is an old, eerie staircase. Julia instructs Anna to descend quietly. She warns, "If you hear any noise, do not react." However, as Anna walks, she twists her foot and lets out a small scream. The sound echoes throughout the cave. Suddenly, voices fill the space. Her daughter and husband are calling out to her. Anna hears her daughter's voice from a corner, crying, "Mom, come here! There is a terrifying man, and I'm scared." Hearing her daughter's fearful plea, Anna's heart melts. She immediately replies, "I'm coming, my dear," and starts moving toward her. But Julia forcefully stops her and warns her not to go there. At that moment, a magician possessed by a tiger appears. He is about to attack them, but they manage to hide in a section of the cave. While moving through the cave, Anna's foot gets trapped. The magician tries to approach Anna, but she somehow manages to free her foot and runs away. Then he mimics Anna's husband's voice and calls out to her saying, "Come to me." Now Anna and Julia are in a room filled with mirrors. Suddenly, a hand emerges from a mirror on the floor and grabs Anna's hand to pull her in. But Anna quickly pulls her hand away and escapes. Voices start echoing from every mirror, overwhelming her. She covers her ears, feeling irritated and distressed as memories of her dead son flood her mind. Anna stands near a mirror when the magician tries to pull her inside. However, just then, Anna's husband arrives and shatters the mirror to save her. In doing so, he loses his sight and becomes blind. He tells Anna to leave the place immediately. As Anna makes her way out of the cave, she receives a call from the police officer. She tries to explain everything, but the call disconnects and she falls down again. Now Anna and her husband struggle together to find a way out of the cave, but the magician, who has now transformed into a monstrous creature with white hair covering his face, tries to drag Anna's husband away. Anna fights back and manages to pull her husband to safety. As they continue moving toward the exit, they suddenly hear Julia's voice behind them. She pleads, "Mother, you said you would never leave me. Why are you leaving now? Please don't go." However, Anna can no longer trust Julia. At this point, Anna has also lost her eyesight, meaning both she and her husband are now blind. Holding each other's hands, they struggle to find their way out, but the stairs seemed endless. They just wouldn't stop. Then Anna hears the voice of her dead son. He says, "Mother, please don't leave me again." Hearing this, Anna's heart begins to melt. But her husband reminds her, "You know he is dead. He is not here." Anna continues climbing up with her husband, but this time, her son's voice sounds sad as he pleads, "Mother, don't go." At this moment, Anna loses her patience. She lets go of her husband's hand and says, "I will bring my son back soon." Apologizing, she heads back downstairs and meets Julia. She hugs Julia, and together they move deeper into the cave. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we see that Anna's husband has successfully made it out of the cave, but Anna is still missing. The cave is then sealed. With this, the movie ends. It is said that a tiger lures people by mimicking the voices of their dead relatives and then makes them its prey. This explains why everyone who comes near the cave disappears. And with this, the movie ends here. Subscribe to this channel for more horror stories like this.